Hi and welcome. I'm Julia Katsivo, career transition success coach and strategist. Welcome to Facebook Live. I'm here today to talk about networking, and especially networking for introverts, or for those who don't like to sell, as I call it. The thing about networking is you're expected to go out and make new connections, meet new people, and come up with sales from the connections that you make, long-lasting relationships. There's something a little manipulative sounding about networking if you break it down. You're specifically going to go out with the purpose of meeting people with whom you hope to have a connection that will lead to them purchasing from you. If that doesn't sound manipulative, then I don't know what does. It's almost like dating. You go on a specific site with the intention to meet people with whom you want to form a lasting relationship with that could lead to, say, marriage. So when we think about networking, a lot of times we naturally just shy away from the whole activity because there's nothing natural sounding about it. And I'd like to welcome you to the Facebook Live today because we are talking about networking. So please write a comment. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're with me today. And also, thank you. I see who's logged in. Welcome, Jennifer. And let me know, just show some love. Let me see that you're here. And also just let me know what your questions are. I like talking about networking because this is one of the things that I had to learn and get into and get over. And it really had to do with a lot of switching my mindset around how I thought. Hi, Celeste. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. I have two professionals here that I'm speaking with. And we are looking at networking, and a way to look at networking that will work for us and for our business in a more natural way. So as I said before, when I would think about networking and going out to network, it was not an organic, intuitive world for me. And so I had difficulty wrapping my head around sitting down and figuring out the type of person that I was to go out and meet, figuring out the type of things that I was supposed to tell this person, and then figuring out how to get the person to the place where I could say, now, could you buy from me? It just sounded like too much work. And yet without networking, I knew that I wasn't going to make any money. I knew that I wasn't going to make any sales. I knew that no one would know who I was and how I was. I loved how I would hang around people and listen to their introductions and see them just mosey up to others and make connections. And I'll think to myself, you've probably been in business for a really long time and it's helped you get this confident. And I didn't know if I had that kind of time. I didn't know if I could wait 5 years to be comfortable networking. You see, I came from an environment where we didn't network with people other than the people that we worked with. You understand that, don't you? Where, it's the people that you work with, and outside of that, it's your friends and your family. And so for me, I didn't look at it as networking. I called it socializing. Come into this business world and it becomes important to make connections that are different. It was a very strange concept for me. And at the very beginning, I struggled with two things. I found myself going out a lot, and then I'd find periods where I wouldn't go out at all. So let me know if you can throw up some the love sign to show me if you understand what I'm saying. Where you have a really good month or a really good period where you're going out and you're meeting people and you're making connections, and then you have a month or you have a period where you're not leaving the house to make connections, just hot and cold. I had a hot and cold relationship with networking. Some days I felt very productive because I would look at my calendar and I'd say, oh, look at all these places that I'm going to network, and I'd get really excited. And you know how that feels. Again, just give me a sign there if you know what I mean by that, where you just feel like, yes, I know what I'm doing here. And then there were other days I'd look at my calendar and I had no networking opportunities on the calendar, and I'd say, you see this? This is why you're not getting results. This is why nothing is working out for you. So again, if you understand what I mean, show me some love and throw some hearts and let me know. Welcome, John, and welcome again to all the people who are joining me as we speak about networking. You have questions? Throw them on there. You got to throw them on there. Use me while you have me. So again, I was saying that I would look at my calendar and it was a hot, cold relationship with networking. Now, this is something else that I noticed was that my networking events were close to home. So I would network a lot in areas in which I was comfortable in. And I would find myself going, say, to the same organizations and networking a lot there. Is this you? Does this sound like you? Where when you look at your networking events, you can tie them down to a specific organization or a specific type of people, that sort of thing. Hi, I see you. I recognize you all. Thank you so much for joining me here. Throw in your questions if you have any questions along the way. Now, back to what I was saying, when I looked at the networking events that I was going to, and I sat down and I asked myself, are these the people who will pay you for your services? I came up with a no. I came up with a no. The reason being that the people with whom I was comfortable with were not necessarily my clients. Does that sound familiar to you? Does this make sense to you? Show me some love if this makes sense to you. If it makes sense to you that the people you're most comfortable with are not necessarily your clients. They are your peers. And a lot of times, you will find yourself selling or speaking or promoting to people who don't need your services, who don't understand your services, and who are not in a position to introduce you to those who do, because that's just not their thing. And it's not personal. And it's the same, vice versa. And so that's the rut that I found myself in. I found myself having hot, cold networking events, months, where, my calendar would have places that I was going, and months where I would not have places I was going. And the places I was going, when I reviewed them, they were the same types of places. And in the beginning, I thought that this was okay because I was getting practice and I was getting out in front of a crowd. And I'm sure a lot of you have gone through this mentality where you think this. The problem was, it really wasn't moving my business forward. I wasn't getting to the place where I wanted to be with my business. And this can cause some trouble. And I'll tell you what kind of trouble you're looking at. Well, first of all, you start to think that this is as good as it gets. So if anyone's ever been in that situation or understands what that situation is, and you have any questions around that, please toss them in there. Let me know. But when you surround yourself with certain networks, after a while, you start to believe that this is as good as it gets, that it's not going to get better than this. And what I need to do now is I need to up my game or appear, a different way so that I can get these people to like me, to know me, to trust me, and to buy from me. But that's not true. The second thing is that you get really comfortable and you forget to move along. You forget to evaluate your actions, your activities, to see what's working, what's not working, and then to keep it moving. And when you don't keep it moving, you get stuck. So what we find is a lot of professionals who start off with a lot of zing, a lot of zest, and they go out and they network and they're doing their thing. They get comfortable. They continue speaking in the same circles. They're not moving ahead. They're not, they're just kind of like stuck there. And they forget to move on. They forget to evaluate their results with their networking and to move on if it asks for it. And you'll see that many years later, they're still doing the same thing, but without real headway. So what I'd like to speak to you about today with networking is a few things. And the first thing is, ask yourself if you're ready to network in the way that your business asks you to. So if your business asks you to get out of your comfort zone, are you willing to do that? I want to see some yeses, please. Because you need to be willing to do what your business asks you to. That's part of the whole game here. If you want to be successful, you must say yes to everything that your business asks of you. And you don't have to worry about breaking any moral compass or anything like that, because your business is modeled after you. Whatever it is that you value, however you are, what your movements are, you're guaranteed that your business will follow pretty much the same structure. It doesn't matter what you think. Subconsciously, consciously, you've imbued your business with who and what you are. So if you're willing to network the way your business asks you to, then you will realize that this has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with you, and we must now put on the mindset and the face and everything that goes with it into the lives that we're going to be meeting. When I decided that I was willing to network the way my business wanted me to, not the way I wanted to, when it was up to me, I was comfortable going in the circles that I was comfortable in and doing the things that I was comfortable doing. I was happy doing that. My business was not. My business wanted more of me. My business wanted the type of people who would push me further, push me higher, and give me paid clients, because they had problems and I had solutions to those problems, and vice versa. And there were also people who had overcome the little minor things that I was allowing myself to get stuck on. And so I said yes to what type of networking my business was asking me for. What did this look like? First of all, I looked at all the big, scary people in the game that I admired, that I looked up to, and that I followed. In the world of social media today, you can attest that there are people you follow on social media, like the people you follow on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope. You gotta love technology. I hope it didn't freeze for you the way it just froze for me. And if it did, I hope I looked cute. But going back to what I said, you have people that you admire, that you follow on social media, and that you follow in media, and you can say yes to that, right? Show me some love if you're still with me. Can we agree that there are people that we follow on social media, people that we follow and we love? Excellent, excellent. So this is what I did. And maybe you do this too. And if you do, you're on the right track. So what I did is I started reaching out to them individually. I started to tell them what I liked about them. And in the beginning, I didn't want to do this because I felt like this is creepy. They're going to block me. But because I was following them and it was genuine, I was able to tell them exactly what I loved about them. I was able to tell them exactly what philosophies resonated with me, what systems I had tried, what strategies I had tried. Is this something that you currently do? Do you do this already? Let me know. And if you don't, please say so. Let's just be honest here. You have me, I have you, let's be honest. Do you reach out to the people that you follow, that you look up to, and do you let them know that you do so? Okay. Thank you for your honesty. Okay, so starting now, your business is asking you to do that. So do we have a yes? Yeah? Do we have a yes? Do we have a yes to reaching out to the people that we look up to, that we read about, that we agree with, and letting them know exactly what we do and what we love and let's do that. Because what you're starting to do is you're starting to elevate your peer group. These are people who are human too. And just like you, they want to know that what they're doing matters, and they want to know who they are reaching. And you have to remember that you're like-minded, because there's something about you and there's something about them that gels together. Isn't that true? Isn't that right? Yeah, just throw up some love. Honestly, I'm just like asking for all the love because I love it. But show me some love if you agree that the people you read, the people you follow, that there are things about them that you agree with, things that you understand about them, things that you hear from them that you say, yes. So when you tell them that, you already have those connection points together. So elevate your peer group by reaching out, and the internet has made it so easy. You know, there used to be a time when you'd have to like really stalk for phone numbers or stand outside someone's office to speak with them. And it's understandable that didn't happen. But now all you have to do is, as soon as someone posts something or writes something, reach out to that person and say, this is what I like, and start a conversation. Now, what will happen out of that is you'll find out if they're holding events or if they're doing events. You'll find out what they're doing, and they're going to invite you to those events. So do you see how your networking starts to change? Your networking starts to change because you have elevated your peer group to people who are playing the game you're in at an advanced level, and they will invite you to their events. And at their events, You get to meet a different type of crowd. You get to see a different type of game being played. And it makes things much, much different and exciting. What do you think about that so far? If you have any questions, I want you to toss them out at me right now. But so far, what I've shared with you is one way to think about networking and to change networking. And the one way is to look at it as, what is my business asking of me? And your business is asking you to elevate the group that you are with. How do I do that? How you do that is by reaching out to the people who affect you, who inform you, or who feel a connectedness, who are consistent with what they do, and whom you admire or would like to just work with, or anything like that. You reach out to them and you make that connection. When you do that, more times than not, most times, you will be invited by these people to their events. And you want that because that's an elevated game. So you are no longer just in your own networks. You are now in their networks. And you go ahead and you do that. So we have a comment here. Excellent, excellent. About elevating your peer group and meeting with different people. Yes. You know, we've all heard that saying, right? Like, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around. Well, it's sort of depressing when you really think about it, because you think, oh, well, they're okay, so 2 of them are my kids, 1 is my spouse. Like, it could be a situation like that. And I'm glad that this is a comment here. I'd speak about that. So I've shown you one way in which you can elevate your networking game. The second way that you can do this is by considering all your influences as your network. So consider this. If you read books or if you listen to podcasts, any one of those are voices, are people's opinions, are people's views and strategies. They form your network. As an example, if you find that, many times a week you're listening to Tony Robbins, you can consider him as one of your 5 because you associate with him. You listen to what he's saying, and that gets into your subconscious, whether you know it or not. That becomes one of your friends. So some of the things that I do periodically is I look at what I'm surrounding myself with. So I look at, say, what I'm listening to on the radio, what I'm listening to on the TV set, because it's not really just watching, it's listening. What I'm reading on the books. And then I ask myself, if these were actual human beings and we were in the same room together, would I be comfortable with them? If the answer is no, then you need to change something. If the answer is yes, then you are in the right network in that space. Does that make sense? Let me know if that doesn't make sense, if I've lost you with that. Just let me know. The day is so beautiful. I just have to stay out here because soon it may not be this warm. Yes. Okay. I wouldn't speak about winter too early, but... So again, thank you for joining me for this Facebook Live. If you have any specific question about networking, please ask. But what I would ask you to do again is to sit down and make a list of all the different things that you're interested in and all the different people in those categories that you follow, and then reach out to them. So stretch yourself by reaching out to them. Also, look at them and see, I see some feeling jealous because of the weather and the fact that I'm outside. I know. I can't even apologize for that. I'm enjoying it for you. I'm taking in all the vitamin D, and I probably have stayed out here for too long, but meh. That's all right. But I'd like to do that. So take stock of the things that you love, the things that you care for, and reach out to the people that you admire in that area. Reach out to them. The other thing is start looking at the events that you're interested in. And I'll tell you this strange thing about Facebook, right? And pretty much anywhere on the internet. But you will notice that if you click on an event, if you say that you're going for a personal development event, you open yourself up to receiving suggestions and invitations of more of those events. So it's really, really, really important. Hi, Roberta. Thank you for joining us. I love this. So we have all these professionals, all these people in here. Thank you. I appreciate this. So what I want to say is I've asked you to look at all the people who are playing your game at a much higher level and to reach out to them and to tell them exactly what it is that you admire about them or that you're learning from them or you have instituted from them or would like to talk to them more on. I'd like you to do that. And more times than not, they're going to invite you to their events. But even if they don't, I want you to take the initiative and look into what it is that they're into. So if you see that they're speaking somewhere, then, and you already have a habit of doing this is great. So go over to their events. If you see that they have affiliated events, go look into them. You also want to see some of the people who go for such events, and you want to start making contact with them. So these are bunches of strangers whom you might have in your networks. And you'll find in our networks, we have a whole bunch of strangers, right? On Facebook, I try to have people that I have some connection with, but it doesn't always work that way. And so I try to keep my network tight so that, I'd rather have people that I am familiar with rather than massive amounts of people who don't care about me, who never look at anything that I do, and vice versa. So if you look at people and you notice that the same people are showing up, liking what you like and doing what you do, and they're walking their own path, you want to reach out to them. You want to reach out to them and say, hey, how are you? We're in the same network. We're in the same Facebook or the same this or the same that. And I just wanted to reach out and learn a little bit more about you and hear from you. And honestly, you end up making so many quality connections. You end up finding yourself in the right networking groups because of doing these small actions. And this is something that I do, and a lot of people can attest to this. I will reach out to individuals on all my social media links, and I will say, hey, how are you doing? We're in the same Facebook group, or we're in the same we're Facebook friends. So I'd like to know more about you. Like, please tell me what you do, and then we take it from there. Now, you may receive some negative feedback. So like some negative feedback I've received is, well, everything about me is on my profile. What more do you want to know? And that usually tells me, okay, well, that's fine. Let's keep it moving. Bye. Other people will say, oh, I don't know why you're on here, but I don't want to talk to you. Then, okay, thanks for letting me know. Let's keep it moving. Bye. But what I'd like to know is do you do that? Do you reach out to the members, to the people that you have on your networks? Do you reach out to them to introduce yourself or to speak with them? These are people that you don't know. Let me know if you do on the comment box, please. Like, is this something that you do? Do you reach out to people to say, hi, this is who I am. I see that we're in the same network. How are you doing? Do you do that at all? Okay. Okay. I have some no's here. Okay. Anybody else have an answer here? Do you reach out to people on your Facebook, strangers on your Facebook, strangers on your LinkedIn, strangers on your Twitter? What's with all the car noises? Do you reach out to any of the people in your network and say, hey, this is, Julia, and okay. So I see that we don't do that. So you see, I'm really turning networking on its head because I'm showing you how to network. So we want to reach out to the people in our existing groups, and we want to do it one by one. And yes, it is scary, but what is scary is the thought. The actual action isn't. Because consider this. You have a stranger who is your Facebook friend. That is scary. You need to know who's your Facebook friend. So when I think about it in that sense, then it helps me want to know, yeah, who's in my house? Who came to my house party? Who are you, right? So I look for things that are mutual. Like, for example, you might notice that, you belong to the same organization, or you might notice that the person kind of likes the same posts that you do or posters. Either way, I sometimes just say, we're Facebook friends. I see that we have a couple of mutual friends. I just wanted to reach out and know a little bit more about you. So that's what your business is asking of you. Now, can I get a yes? Show me some love if you're up for the challenge of reaching out to your Facebook friends, your Twitter friends, your Instagram friends, your LinkedIn friends, all those contacts and making a commitment to get to know them on a deeper level other than just having them on your social media profile. Let me know if you're up for this, because this is networking. Let me know if you're up for this. I want to see some yeses. I want to see some love. I want to see some yes, yes, yes. Excellent. I like that. Yes. 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 Okay. Yep. Let's make that commitment. Let's make that commitment to start one by one, reaching out to the people in our networks and finding out more about them. Because what it'll do is it'll tell you if you want to take that relationship further or not. Now, here is an amazing secret about this. This is the payoff. When you reach out to individuals and you make that connection, you become top of mind. Now, anytime something of you pops up, they are more likely more interested in seeing what it is than if they don't know you at all. Isn't that true? If you are speaking with someone today and you check on your timeline and you see a post by that person, isn't it true that you are more likely to pay attention to what that person posts than if you have, no clue who this person is, or if you just recognize the name? It could even be a relative, but you haven't had a connection in a long time. Isn't that true? Don't you find that that is true? What do you think? Let me know. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to know that we're on the same page. What do you think about when you have conversations with people and then you see things from them shortly after? Doesn't it make sense that you would be more interested in what they have to say because you've had that conversation, you have that connection? Your brain, your neurons, everything is saying, oh, it's so-and-so again. Like, yay, my friends come to visit. Because in social media now and with the internet, this is our forms of visiting. We don't go to each other's houses anymore. We just invade each other's social media presence. So that's what you want to do, is top of mind, right? So if one of you, and imagine this, you're all professionals who have amazing solutions to problems. If all of you reached out to me as a stranger and said, hey, how are you doing, Julia? You're on my network, and I see that you're involved in coaching services. So can you tell me a little bit about what you do? And I start to talk to you. You'll make me feel good. You'll feel good. And the next time I see something pop up for you, I'll be like, oh, imagine that. Okay, someone here is in skincare. Someone here is a financial services solutions provider. Someone here is a team building success coach. Like, we look at these types of things and say, that's interesting, and look into more or keep top of mind. This is how we network, and this is how we change the game so that it's no longer us going to the same places, speaking to people who have no interest in what we have to offer or anything like that, because that really does play a huge part on our psyche. When you keep hitting the wall and you keep going into the wrong crowds, you start to believe the lie that this is as good as it gets. And that is not true at all. You really start to believe the lie that you are just doomed to just keep doing this and maybe it's okay. And that is not true at all. So those two things, reach out to the people that you follow, the people that you're already connected with, and start making that connection with them. They will introduce you to their events and their networks, and that will elevate your game. Second thing, reach out within your own networks and start networking. Start reaching out to the strangers. Start figuring out who's in your network. And if you don't like anybody who's come to your house for the party, kick them out. Kick them out. This is Facebook, friend. It's not live. It's not life. Nobody's gonna die if you unfriend them or if you stop following them, or nobody's gonna die. You want the people who will bring meaning into your life. Can I get a yes for that? Can I get a yes for that? Show me that you're with me on the same page. I want to know if we get that, what we said, because this is what works, and it works for me, and it will work for you if you're willing and open and ready to try this. It's different than going out and just going into the world of strangers and hoping that someone will be impressed by what you say in 60 seconds. You agree with this? Like, you're with this? Excellent, excellent. Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Because I have something that I'd like to speak about. Just to close off. When it comes to networking, there are things that we must do. So even as I say, get on go on social media and ask people questions. There are things that must be done. You must prepare yourself. You must know what the end goal is to your networking, so that you don't just go in there and get carried away by the wind. You must also, there are also some steps within the actual conversations that you carry out. And this makes it more fruitful and meaningful for both of you. So that, again, you're not just going in and wasting people's time or wasting your own time. And then there's also what is called a follow-up. So the follow-up to networking is actually where the money lies. The money doesn't lie in the preparation or you showing up to speak with someone or you showing up for events. The money lies in the follow-up. What you do after you meet with people or speak with people determines whether you end up with paid clients or not. And I have a seminar, a 1-hour webinar that takes place on Friday, September 23rd at 1 p.m. And it is 1 hour, and it gives you the blueprint to follow so that you can make money from networking. And it is called 3 Ways to Make Money from Networking. And it gives you the blueprint to follow. So in the beginning, it's scary because, I'm asking you to do all these things and you might remember what to do and what not to do. So what helps is a checklist, doesn't it? Like if you had this checklist that says before, during, after, wouldn't that help? Wouldn't that help you? Don't you think that would make your life a little bit easier if you had a checklist to just kind of use until you get to the point where you're okay, taking off the training wheels? Let me know if that would be of value to you. If you had this checklist that would allow you to say, okay, this is what I say, this is where they are, this is great, this is the next step, this is follow-up, this is what I must do with the follow-up, this is awesome, and I can see the trajectory down to the paid client status. Does that make sense to you? Let me know if that makes sense to you. Show me some love and ask some questions while you're at it. Let me see what you're thinking. What do you think about that? Having that blueprint that helps you with your networking so that you can make money from networking, so that it's not an energy suck, it is not a money suck, it is not self-esteem suck, so that it doesn't suck anything out of you and make you wonder, why am I doing this? Networking is supposed to make you feel like, yes, this is why I do this. That's the feeling that you want. You want the feeling that says, I am so grateful for this opportunity, man. Like, this is so awesome. I get to do this. That's the feeling that you want. And so we have an amazing, amazing webinar coming up, and tickets are available on Eventbrite. I believe it is under networkingtipswebinar.eventbrite.ca. Or if you look on in the next little while, I will put it up. I will put up the address, and the webinar is valued at $49.99, but I'm giving it to you for $9.99, and I'll tell you why it's not free. I want you to invest in this. I want you to invest $10 for this live webinar, of which you're going to receive a copy that you're going to use, and I want you to start thinking in terms of investing. I want you to start thinking about pouring into your business and making it work for you. So you will invest $9.99 into this webinar, and out of it, you're going to get the blueprint to follow for when you contact the people that you admire, the people that you follow, the people you're interested in, and you're going to use it for the people whom you don't know who are already in your networks. I'm going to show you 3 ways to make money from your networking. And I'm going to speak with you about mindset, the things that stop us from doing what we know we should do. I'm also going to show you where the money is when it comes to networking. Now, I said that it's in follow-ups. It's also in the type of network groups that you go to. How to be selective. And here's another thing. I'm going to show you how there is money in hosting your own networking, because you can do that. And I highly, highly suggest that you do. You don't always have to go to the mountain. You can bring people, and there's a way that you can do that. There's a way that you can be the hub for networking so that you bring people to you. and you can do this through partnerships, and you can do this for yourself. And that webinar is going to help you learn how. So one of the ways that you can make money from networking is by being the person who hosts networking events. I will show you where the money is in networking events, so that when you're setting out your plan and looking at different networking opportunities, you will know what to look for, and you will be able to measure if it makes sense against what your overall plan is. So this is really a must-attend webinar, and I would highly suggest that you also get other colleagues, family, and friends involved as well, so that we can have some fun. It's live, and you will get a recorded version. Because, at that time you're going to consume a lot of information, and you might need to go back and say, okay, wait. So how did she say this exactly? And of course, you're going to receive a blueprint that you can use, and that I suggest you use, and that you will use. This is next week. It's Friday, 23rd, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's 3 ways to make money from networking. I want you to join me in this webinar, because I want you to start seeing revenue from your activities. I want you to start seeing how networking works. I want you to start seeing the benefits of networking, so that you can start associating good feelings with networking, and so that you can be active and consistent in it. You won't always feel like getting up and doing this. You won't always feel like you have the energy, but it works. And this will really help turn your mindset, because you did promise at the beginning that you are willing to go where your business asks you to. Are we still willing to go where the business asks us to? Are we still willing to do that? Yeah? Can I see some comments? What do we think about that? And don't worry about moral compass or, the truth is your business will always be modeled against you. Consciously and subconsciously, your business will always follow you. However you are, your business will follow you. If you are driven in one aspect, your business will be great at that part. If you slack off in one aspect, your business will slack off in one part. Your business is you. So you don't have to worry about saying, oh, but I don't want the business to take me into, spaces and throw me over a cliff. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So if you're willing to do this for the business, then consider the nuggets that I gave you today. Understand that they work for me. They will work for you. You got to try it. You really got to try it. You got to do it, and set a target. But sign up for the webinar, and hopefully I will be seeing you soon. And thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.